Ubisoft has announced that title update 1.10 for Valhalla is going live tomorrow, and within this update we'll get a ton of bug fixes, but more importantly, changes to prepare us for Season 1 of Valhalla's post-launch content, which includes, and I'm very excited to experience this, the Yule Festival. Just a heads up, I will be streaming Valhalla right when this update drops tomorrow morning, so make sure you're subbed to the channel and you have that notification bell on so you don't miss when I go live. Before we touch on what's in the update, I wanted to give you guys a heads up. Early this morning, Ubisoft dropped this Happy Holidays program where if you follow this link in the description and link your account, you will get the Bayek Legacy outfit for Valhalla, and I have currently done this. I don't have it in the game yet, so it's going to take a couple days, but this is something you guys should definitely jump in on. And there's also some settlement decorations involved in this too. So this is happening over the next several days. If I were you, I would keep your eyes glued on Ubisoft's social media, but also I'll do my best to give you all a heads up. So let's dive into what to expect for this update tomorrow. Of course, the full-length article is linked in the description below. If you're looking for a specific bug fix, I suggest you do that. I'm just going to go over the highlights and what stood out to me. First, and most excitingly, at least for me, is post-launch content. They added in-game support for the settlement expansion system and the Yule Festival. This is content that's not here, it's not in this update, but it's coming very soon. And we knew about this from Ubisoft's post-launch content video that they dropped before Valhalla even came out. But we're going to start seeing bits and pieces because we're going to see the arrival of revelers just east of Ravensthorpe. So that'll be really fun to explore and kind of check out tomorrow when the update drops. And then at the bottom here, they say they're going to share more about the settlement expansion system and the Yule Festival in an upcoming article, the Yule season preview article. So whenever they do post that, I will be covering it here. Under balancing, we've got some very interesting changes that I think will be good in the long run. First off, NPC power level will be at a maximum difference of 51 below the player. So what that means is that very weak enemies, say if you are way above the suggested power level for a certain region, those guys will not be just a pushover like they might have been before, which personally for me as a gamer in playing Valhalla, I prefer this. I don't want to just roll over enemies because I'm over leveled for an area. And this also applies to world bosses in some form or fashion. This will match the player's power level when the power exceeds that world boss's base level. So those guys will also not be pushovers if you happen to have beaten the game, but not completed all of the alpha animals or the zealots. Now, probably the most interesting thing in this entire article for me is that they added lootable chests to the Grand Magister's hideout. Now, this is absolutely a spoiler if you haven't completed the Order questline, and we're not spoiling in this video, but I will be checking out this stuff tomorrow on stream. Very interested to see what they added there. Now let's dive into fixes, and they are just so many listed here, it's kind of insane. So again, if you're looking for something specific, I suggest you check the article for yourself. I'm going to dive into the things that have personally affected me, and hopefully we'll be able to test those on stream tomorrow. So first off, they addressed various character or NPC animation issues. You guys, I'm sure if you've played this for more than a dozen hours, you've seen some of this weird animation going on. So hopefully that stuff is ironed out. Same thing goes for clipping issues, especially I want to see this for Eivor's cloak. A lot of weapons just kind of poke through and look very strange whenever you got your cloak up, and that's how I prefer to play the game. If you've ever tried to be stealthy, I'm sure you've run into this issue where the NPCs just kind of stand up when you assassinate them, like while they're dying as if they were standing straight up. That has been addressed, so I'm glad to see that. Under the quests, world events, and side activities section, I noticed a few specific issues I was having have been addressed. First was not being able to fast travel after completing the Hordafilka arc, which was very strange, and I reloaded my game several times and that fixed it, but luckily this will be fixed for people who haven't even reached that yet. And then you guys know that weird issue where Jomsvikings wouldn't help you open doors. I specifically had this issue at the Isle of Ely, and that has been fixed, which is great. Under world, we've got various object or texture placement issues. I've just noticed some wonkiness out in the world, so I'm sure that's part of this fix. And then instances where I would get stuck on objects and just could not move. I've had that happen to me before, and I've just, reloading a save fixes most of this stuff, but it's good to see this stuff stuff ironed out. Under gameplay, combat, and AI, I had an issue where the fishing hut kid was just kind of walking around Ravensthorpe and I couldn't interact with them. So now he will be at his house where he should be so you can deliver those fish deliveries. I wanted to highlight this one because I know Joraptor made a video on it showing you how to basically get a bunch of silver really quickly through an exploit. So UB has addressed that. You can't get the beggar reward several times now. And also there was that huge issue where people couldn't interact with Retta, like he was stuck telling a story to children, and after a certain point in the game, you just couldn't, even talk to him, which is a big issue. So glad they've ironed that out. And then finally, under fixes, they've reduced the intensity and duration of the parry rumble. This is something where I've gotten a parry before, and then my controller just would not stop rumbling until I reloaded a save or I shut down the game. So obviously that was a problem. So really, we don't know a ton about the settlement expansion or the Yule Festival and how that'll work, but there will be fun activities and rewards. And I'm sure some of you are actually wondering, where is the river raiding mechanic that Ubisoft talked about in their post-launch content? I went back and rewatched that video, and I believe what is said is that it's coming early in the post-launch of Valhalla, but I don't think that necessarily means, by the end of 2020. So if you're looking for that really replayable activity that, fleshes out the Yam's Viking system, I think we're gonna have to wait a little bit longer for that, but hey, I could be wrong. In any case, that wraps it up. Very quick video today. Just wanted to let you guys know that this update's coming and there's a lot of fun stuff inside of it. Once again, I will be live streaming this update tomorrow morning. Once it's downloaded on my console, I will go live and share that experience and my, genuine reactions with you live. So make sure you're subbed, hit that bell so you don't miss out. Make sure to follow me on Twitter. I'm at jayvee on YT, and Instagram, jayvee.yt, to stay up to date with my content and other things. Also, if you want to chat more about Valhalla, Cyberpunk, I know that's a popular topic these days, join our community Discord server at discord.gg/jayvee on YT. Links for everything are in the description below. Big thanks to my YouTube members, my Ultra fans, Dave, Grass, Deadwalker, Bill, Cam, Cullen, and Jacob. Super fans, Kamal, Casey, Tipsy Sergey, Karen, and Tarl K. Fans, John, Matthew, Spyro, JVO, Brock, Level 42, Tia, Joe, and Allura. And supporters, Nos, Nightmare, Sung, V Toxic, Taryn, Glenn, Adam, Blaze, Mr. Hollow, Quickness, Firkin, and Abhishek for supporting the channel. If you want to support me further, click the join button below this video. In exchange for your support, you'll unlock custom badges and emotes to use in chat and during streams. Check the link in description for more information. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.